WWE 2K25 includes a ton of new features, gameplay updates, and even an entire island to explore, so in this video we're going to run through 10 of the best updates to give you an idea of what to expect so that you can decide if this is the game for you. Before we get started though, I do want to say a big thank you to 2K for sponsoring this video. So let's take a look at 10 of the best new features in WWE 2K25, starting with number 1, the 2K Showcase. This year's 2K Showcase is introduced by the wise man Paul Heyman, who tells the story of the Bloodline's dynasty dating all the way back to the roots of the Bloodline and the blood bond between The Rock's grandfather, High Chief Peter Maivia, and the Anoa'i family. Unlike recent showcases, which have been criticised for the use of slingshot videos, this year's showcase is a return to its roots as the developers have listened to feedback from fans and dropped slingshot technology in favour of fully rendered in-game cutscenes, with matches also seeing the return of play-by-play commentary. In addition, this year's showcase also features a unique spin that sees matches fall into one of 3 categories: relive history, change history, or create history. Relive matches sees players complete matches as they happened historically, while change history sees matches flip the script and change the ending, exploring what may have happened under different circumstances. In addition, the third category, create history, offers up a series of dream matches, with Paul Heyman pitting members of the Bloodline against other WWE legends, leading to a few surprise inclusions that otherwise may have been overlooked. Number 2, the Underground. WWE 2K25 sees the introduction of the Underground match, which is a Fight Club-like match type that sees the ring ropes and the turnbuckle pads removed, with the ring then surrounded by a group of spectators who will encourage the competitors and bang on the mat as they cheer them on. The removal of the ring ropes makes this match type unique, as brawling on the edge of the ring allows for special strikes and grapples that will send your opponents crashing down ringside, where you can then follow up your attack with a dive. Using the carry system, you can also perform new moves to and from the ring, as carrying an opponent towards the apron will let you powerbomb them onto the mat. While in ring, you can also use the ring posts to your advantage and throw opponents into them, with strong Irish whips seeing them flung into the post and then crashing down to ringside. When it comes to winning an Underground match, matches in the Underground are won by knockout or submission, so you'll have to lock in a submission hold and make them submit, or wear them down until they enter a danger state and then knock them out with a powerful strike. Number 3, Intergender Matches. One of 2K25's major updates sees the removal of gender restrictions, as this is the first game in the 2K series that allows intergender matches, as men and women can now face off against each other for the first time in over 15 years. Rather than limit intergender matches to singular one-on-one bouts, intergender matches work in all match types bar mixed tag team matches, so if you want to take things to the extreme and set up a 6-person intergender Hell in a Cell match, or have the men and women duke it out in a backstage brawl, you now have the power to make that match. Also supported is the Royal Rumble match, as rather than hold a men's and a women's Royal Rumble, you can now place both genders into an intergender Royal Rumble and crown a single winner. Number 4, the third-person camera. One of my favourite additions in 2K25 is the new option to switch to a third-person camera, as the developers have included a new third-person option during entrances, which when switched to will place the camera behind the player in a third-person perspective, where you can then control the camera using the thumbstick and move it around to change the angle or zoom in and out using the triggers. This new system breathes a ton of life in entrances, as rather than always taking the same entrance from the same angle, you now have the freedom to customise it, either by moving the camera around yourself, or by switching to the spectate camera, which lets you cycle through different preset views. Not only is third person available during entrances, but the developers have also made it available during matches, as you can pause the game and select the presentation options, where you'll find the option to switch to third person, along with some additional options that let you invert the camera controls or switch to a wide angle view. When wrestling matches in third person, this makes for some incredible views, as it allows you to get closer to the action than ever before, as matches like the Elimination Chamber let you take the camera inside the structure and give you a completely different perspective. Number 5, new Brawl Areas. Another of 2K25's standout new features is the addition of 2 new Brawl Areas, as expanding on the backstage offering, this year sees the inclusion of the NXT parking lot and the WWE archives. The NXT parking lot is modelled on the parking lot from the WWE Performance Center, where we've seen a lot of attacks take place on TV, as this area offers a large open area that's littered with weapons and includes new options like parking cones and trash can lids, as well as a pane of glass. The pane of glass can be found resting on 4 steel chairs, and it can be broken by throwing an opponent into it, either from a standing position or by throwing them off the scaffold above. Switching over to the WWE archives, we have a new area that's modelled on the WWE warehouse and contains various props from WWE's past, with this area fully interactive as players can climb up the giant storage shelves and then brawl atop the WrestleMania sign, or climb up onto the giant SmackDown fist and dive off it into the ring. This area also comes with a ton of interactive elements, as you can throw players into the shelves to knock them over and reveal new weapons, or take a page out of Shawn Michaels' book and throw your opponent through the barbershop window. Number 6. New Paybacks. When it comes to gameplay, one of the best updates is the inclusion of new payback abilities which can be unlocked via the island. Some of the standout paybacks include Powder, which sees you blind your opponent by throwing a handful of powder in the face that leaves them blind and inverts their controls, Adrenaline, which gives you a surge of energy and an extra bar of health that, while active, allows you to fend off attacks. Bully sees you argue with the referee after they make a 2 count, and that then scares them into counting your pinfalls quicker next time. Lastly, one of my personal favourites is Ref Bump, which you can use to throw your opponent into the referee and cause them to fall down, which gives you a short window to use any weapons or dirty attacks. Number 7. MyRise. This year's MyRise takes advantage of the new intergender options, as rather than offer up individual stories for men and women, this year's mode features one singular story that sees players create a male and female character who they'll then control throughout the story as they battle to overcome the NXT Mutiny faction, which has invaded WWE and aims to take over the company. While I don't want to spoil too much about the story, what I can tell you is that this year's MyRise harkens back to career modes of old, and it features various story paths with plenty of choices to make and unlockable content, so much so that you'll want to replay the mode multiple times to see how it differs and unlock additional content. Number 8. Universe Mode. Universe Mode in 2K25 sees the long-awaited return of promos, as following a lot of loud feedback from the community, the developers have brought back the ability to hold promos in Universe, though this time around they do work slightly different, as promos are included as part of the Rivalry Actions menu, which allows you to set up one of 5 different promo types. These include Accept an Open Challenge, which allows you to set up a promo and the superstars that will come out to accept the challenge, a call-out promo, which will call out a specific superstar and includes multiple options to further the scene, Issue an Open Challenge, which you can use to call out a random superstar, Promo Interrupt, which allows you to set up a promo and then choose a superstar to come out and interrupt it, and Self Promo, which you can use to put yourself over with the crowd. Unlike the previous iteration of promos in 2K25 don't include any text, as interactions instead play out in the form of cutscenes, with this then leading to a set of choices on how to progress the scene, which gives the player more control over how things play out. In addition to promos, also new is the addition of tournaments, such as the King and Queen of the Ring, the ability to hold multiple shows on the same night, and spread PLEs like WrestleMania across 2 nights instead of 1. Number 9. World Tour. While my faction has proved to be a grind in recent years, this year's mode offers up a new World Tour option that proves to be extremely rewarding. In World Tour, players start by completing chapters in cities across the US, with each city offering up a fresh set of challenges, which when completed will reward the player with free persona cards that allow you to unlock alternate versions of stars like CM Punk or RVD. Unlike other elements of my faction, World Tour is much easier to compete in, and it gives players a way to easily earn cards and build out their faction, with the persona cards they unlock then available throughout the entire game. While World Tour currently only covers the US, new areas are set to be added in the future, with those updates also set to bring in new persona cards that will unlock even more characters. Finally, at number 10, the Island. Saving the biggest new addition to last, WWE 2K25 invites players to journey to the Island of Relevancy, which is a brand new next-gen exclusive mode for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. The story sees you invited to the island by Roman Reigns in the hope of earning a WWE contract and a potential place in his bloodline. The story on the island is driven by quests, which sees players tasked with exploring the island's 4 districts, competing in matches, and seeking out various WWE superstars. As you explore the island, you'll progress through 5 playable chapters, each revealing more about Roman's challenge and the island itself. When completing challenges or taking part in PvP matches, players can earn VC that they can use to upgrade their character or unlock new creation parts, as well as having the option to purchase new branded clothing options, as throughout the island you'll find stores from more than 10 different real-world brands, including the likes of Nike and Jordan, where you can then purchase branded content to use with your character. Expanding the island, later this year, a new DLC expansion is due to release, with this expansion adding a new area called the Hall of Legends, with this set to add a new quest, a new storyline, up to 2 new superstars, cast parts and banners, though this isn't included in the Season Pass and can only be purchased in-game using VC. So that was 10 of the best new features in WWE 2K25. If you want to try them out yourself, I've included a link to the game in the description and in the pinned comment, so don't be a spectator, be a part of the action and check out WWE 2K25. Again, a big thank you to 2K for sponsoring this video. Stay tuned to the channel for more WWE 2K25 content. Have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.